Now, Cronulla ended a 9-game losing streak at Amy Park thanks in part to Harry Grant's controversial sin binning before half-time. Here's how it all unfolded.
The floater for Munster. The flat ball is a thing of beauty, and it's Remus Smith who scores. Well, Cam Munster has sat back and watched this game unfold. It's the Storm 12, Cronulla 6. Atkinson, he got collected on the way through there.
Yeah,
and it's a penalty.
Yeah, this has become a real misdemeanor in the game that they don't like.
In the bin.
That look from Harry Grant tells you everything you need to know. That a little wink from Daniel Atkinson, used to play for Melbourne Storm. I think, Michael, now we have the definitive line in the sand. That's it now. Any contact, as middling as it seems, yep, whether you like it or not,
yeah, that's right.
that is now the game we play.
We've seen the danger with it.
Hazelton, the short pass. Cortesi is over. They've done it again. A big man down the middle. So 12-all, and this game has completely changed complexion. It's a terrific catch by Mulatalo, and he got away. He burned Welsh, then he got through. Now the pass to Talakai. Goodbye! And the Sharks are surely going to claim a massive scalp. This is some night for the Cronulla Sharks.
That was a turning point thanks to Ashley and Martin Medical Hair Centres, and the debate rages over that sin bin to Harry Grant up against the Cronulla Sharks. Atkinson puts the kick in. Harry Grant comes across, makes contact with the leg, and is given 10 minutes in the bin, which was significant at the time too in the context of the game. I'd love to hear your opinion on this one.
I'll open the batting here. I'm all for foul play policing. That was the most pathetic sin binning I've ever seen on a rugby league field. It really was. I've got stats to back it up. There have been 11 incidents this year where players charging down, kickers, have come into contact with the kicker's legs. 2 of those 11 have gone to the sin bin. That one was possibly a penalty. Possibly a penalty. I would have been happy. I would have been happy if they'd let the game go. But to have 2 senior referees, Adam G, in the box, and the other fella, Grant Atkins, on the field, to come up with a decision like that, you're asking people to turn the television on.
So let's ask someone that kicked the ball. I think they're trying to make it black and white. They
That's
can't
not
talk
black and
about, I realise that, but they're trying to say you are not allowed to come in contact with the legs, whether it's a sin binning or not. If it's consistent, the fans will move on with it. I don't think it's a sin bin, but it's where the game wants to head. Braith, you're a kicker.
Listen, first and foremost, I think it's embarrassing. I think for our game to send Harry Grant off for 10 minutes in a critical moment, one of our biggest stars, I think it takes away from the game and the fans as well. I think it's crazy. Just quickly, this happened the week before, and this was worse. And there wasn't even a penalty, right? Nikorima goes straight at the lead, and that's a match-winning play. If he gets a penalty there, they win the game here, the Cowboys. Takes out there it is, straight into his leg, right? But just let me finish, Jimmy, quickly. So it's an embarrassing call. I understand what the NRL are trying to do. They're trying to protect the players. I mean, everyone knows I look after Lockie Ellis. He snapped his leg in half. Similar, it was a lot worse than that, but I know the severity of what can happen, and players can be put out for the season. I get it, right? We've got to protect our kickers. But there's got to be common sense. There really has to be common sense, and there's got to be consistency. There's no consistency, like Buzz just said, and we've seen, like he said, 9 other incidences where players have not even barely been penalised, let alone given 10 in the bin. Harry barely touched his leg. It was just a reaction of Atkinson, which you can't blame now because the players are doing it. But it's common sense. Do we have any common sense in our game?
I get it, but there can't be, because as soon as there is, players bend the rules and they milk it.
But I think there is. So for me, this protection of the kickers and what the NRL are trying to implement here has gone too far. So there's a difference between making contact with a kicker's leg and attacking the legs of the kicker or the player kicking the ball. I think that should be outlawed. I've made that mistake in doing that myself, attacking where the ball will be and taking the legs of the kicker. That, rightly so, should be gone. But if you actually look at that, Harry Grant doesn't go anywhere near the legs. He actually occupies the space in where the foot of Atkinson goes. In no way is this foul play. I'm delighted that Harry Grant and the Melbourne Storm are choosing to fight this because it's an easy option to take the $1,000 fine.
There was another bad one in New South Wales Cup yesterday. Brad Schneider, the Penrith deputy,
which they need now too.
Yeah, which they need. He was charged down, but here it is here, I think. See there?
You see, that's bad.
Yeah, if you attack the legs of the kicker.
Now, and you know what I do when you get the Lockie Ilias, Brad Schneider incident? I give him a 6 to 8 week ban. I would come down very, very heavy on actions.
The game brought on themselves because they would just come in, everybody would just hit the kicker. Every time they kicked it, they'd come and put the kicker on the ground, didn't you?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you were trained.
You're allowed to put kick pressure on from the inside, but not attack the legs.
And they kept on hitting the kicker, and it started getting late. They went, no. So then they've started going at the leg. So do the players bring this on themselves? Because none of them like it when it happens to their own number 7. They all come in and push and grab their handbags and start swinging.
I think it depends,
though,
Gordy. If you can see the intent for someone, so like that example there, you can see that there's that they go towards the kicker and it's clear that they're in that line of sight. But if you just go like Harry Grant did, and you don't attack the legs, then that shouldn't be a penalty.
The player was not put in any danger at all.
Exactly. And he didn't. He could almost, Harry Grant could argue that he got
make
kicked.
it look like an accident.
Exactly.
Devil's advocate, they can all run in and look away.
But I generally, they can, Gordy, and it happens
make stronger contact.
And it happens a lot, but I don't even think Harry was even trying to.
No, I don't think Harry was.
I
don't think Harry was. I think it was a poor decision the other night. But if you leave it into the players' hands and you come back with common sense, they'll just start hitting a bit harder.
I think
a bit harder. They will look away. They will look back at their own players.
Okay, so what's going to happen here? We'll finish this off. What's going to happen next, though? Is it going to be black and white? Is it going to be if you touch a foot of a kicker, it's 10 in the bin or it's a penalty? Like, where are we going to go from here? It's a very critical call what happens next.
I think we can all live with black and white consistency. And if Josh Alloyer can get away and just a penalty, Harry Grant can as well. If there's a bad one, like the 2 we've seen in New South Wales Cup, they should be instant send-offs.
You can't miss the drink water one either.
No,
because, you know what I mean?
Do we really want games being decided by things like that?
No,
like the drink water one in Nicarima. Do we want that given a penalty?
I don't think that was a penalty either.
No, but to the letter of the law, do we want our fans to be watching games
but
at home?
I think our fans will tolerate it if they're consistent.
That's right. I didn't even think the Alloy. I brought the Alloy one up a few weeks ago, and I was disappointed that was a penalty.
Sean Johnson jump up and kick the goal?
He laid it. Look, that's what the players are doing now, right? Anyway. What about okay? Let's talk about this one. The slap in the face. The slap on the face. Bromwich, Jesse Bromwich, on Trebojevic. There it is.